This program is brought to you by Newsworks in cooperation with the City of Eau Claire. This program is simulcast on WRFP-LP 101.9.
City Council meeting is now in session. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Beaton.
Here.
Berge.
Here.
Christofferson.
Here.
Emmanuel.
Here.
Gregert.
Here.
Klinkhammer. Lohr.
Yep.
Weld.
Here.
Worthman.
And good afternoon. Again, I welcome all of you for sharing this afternoon with us, and those of you at home too that are joining our meeting. Before we get started into the meeting itself, I would like to present to you our state of the city. And so I will get started with that, and once we're completed with the presentation, we'll move into our meeting. So again, good afternoon, and thank you all for allowing me this opportunity to present to you the Eau Claire state of the city. I would like to take a moment to thank our city council members. I'm honored to serve with this dedicated group of individuals and appreciative of the time, energy, and compassion that they put into serving this great city. My appreciation to Councilmember Worthman as well for his leadership as acting president for the first 4 months in 2019. Also, thank you to Mr. Peters and city staff for all your help on this presentation. As we know, municipal work can be thankless work at times, and the job of plowing streets, cleaning parks, filling potholes, or treating sewage can go unnoticed. But judging by the 2019 social media comments on the screen before you, it is sincerely appreciated. Noteworthy are two significant events in 2019 that city staff engaged head-on without missing a beat. First was the 113 inches of snow that required 35 days of operation, many 24-hour days back-to-back, and driving over 23,000 miles. This was a team effort with all employees from multiple departments pitching in. Second, we reopened our beautifully renovated City Hall and moved 100 employees back without interrupting a single day of service. Our city also continued to receive national recognition in 2019, including one of the top 10 best college towns, one of the top 5 for affordable housing ownership, one of the top 100 places to live in the United States, and one of the best small cities in Wisconsin, to name a few. Scrolling on the screen is a collage of photos and experiences that showcase this community as we know and love it, and why so many individuals, families, and businesses are calling Eau Claire home. So let's get started. My message to you this afternoon reflects in our vision statement. Eau Claire is a vibrant city with an exceptional quality of life and services. I hope to incorporate the objectives and goals from our strategic plan with the work, successes, and challenges this city experienced in 2019 and share with you our ambitions for 2020 and some of the goals we hope to attain. 2 years ago, we began our work with the futurist Rebecca Ryan to develop a values-based, nimble strategic plan. The shift from a traditional strategic plan to a values-based plan was significant. In 2019, we then worked to define the roles of City Council and City Manager, important work to achieve an efficient organization. So how does it work? As you can see from the graphic, it begins with the why, and the strategic broad goals set forth by City Council that focus on the highest priorities of the city and in turn accomplish the vision. From there is the what, and the objectives and statements that define the areas of focus that will help achieve the strategic goals. And lastly, the how, and the operational tasks or projects that staff is continually working on to achieve those objectives. Within our strategic plan are 4 strategic values: making Eau Claire a great city, local government and stewardship, we believe in sustainability, and we believe in equity. This afternoon we will talk about 2 of these, sustainability and equity. As you may recall, in 2018, we set a goal of being 100% renewal and 100% carbon-free by 2050. A bold and ambitious goal, which at first glance seemed like a long way off, but to achieve requires action now. Our renewable energy plan, action plan that creates the roadmap for our current and future actions was developed this past year and is currently going through the final review process. This roadmap will influence capital and operating decisions that will help us achieve our energy goals. Thank you to Scott Allen and his staff, and particularly Ned Noel, for their work on this plan. This past year, we also signed an energy cooperation agreement with Xcel Energy, the first ever in the state of Wisconsin. We began work on an electric vehicle infrastructure plan to better support electric vehicles. In addition, this last year we recycled and reused 95% of the asphalt and concrete from street construction projects, as well as put two new hybrid buses online. Quality of life, it is sustainable. The second of our 4 strategic values is the concept of equity. When we look at equity and equality, it is important to understand how the two terms differ in our roles as individuals, employers, educators, and communities. To quickly summarize, equity and equality are 2 strategies we can use to produce fairness. Equity is providing what individuals need to be successful. Equality is treating everyone the same. Equity actively moves everyone closer to success by leveling the playing field. Equality aims to promote fairness, but it only can work if everyone starts from the same place and needs the same help. This picture tells the story. To help bring equity to the city of Eau Claire in 2019 and help level that playing field, we purchased 19 acres off of Jeffers Road with the intention of creating affordable housing for individuals with limited income. We are still in the planning stages, but our hope is to have a viable plan in place this summer. In addition, we set aside $500,000 in this year's budget to help further the efforts of creating affordable housing. Quality of life, it brings us together. Incorporated in our planning are the 7 strategic goals that are the what and the why, what, and how. The first of which is supporting economic prosperity for all with diverse, creative economic development and inclusive housing options. 2019 was another solid year for the economy in the Chippewa Valley. Our average unemployment rate was 2.7%, below both state and federal average. Wages are trending up, and we continue to have a net gain in jobs while employee turnover continues to trend down. Additionally, in 2019, we had $15.3 million in downtown investment, which brings our 5-year growth to almost $75 million. In 2019, our legal team successfully defended challenges to the creation of TID 10 and the amendment to TID 8 at the Wisconsin Court of Appeals and the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Thank you to Mr. Nick and our legal staff for their continued work. The collaborative work of the Chippewa Valley Regional Housing Task Force that began in 2018 and continued into 2019, where they concluded the first phase that included a 2-year action plan approved by this council. Also resulting from that work was the creation of the Housing Opportunities Commission. Quality of life, creating a sense of home. In addition, we adopted the new Cannery District Redevelopment Plan, which focuses on expanding economic opportunities in this area and rebranding it as the Makers District. Together with the work of Mr. Winzans and the Finance Department staff, TID 13 was created to help encourage future development. We also broke ground on the Cannery Trail Apartments, with Phase 1 now under construction, and Phase 2 hoping to break ground later this year into 2021 with potential affordable housing options. Also key to economic prosperity is safe housing at all income levels. In 2018, we implemented a proactive housing inspection program, and in 2019, we inspected 1,054 units and responded to 209 complaints. We also addressed the housing safety issues at the Maples Community Mobile Home Park, with sensitivity to the needs of the current residents. Our work there still continues, and thank you to Lisa Giese and her staff and the health department and the community partners for their work to improve our community's health. Quality of life, creates well-being. The community also participated in a 100-day sprint cycle to end homelessness that successfully housed 13 individuals experiencing chronic homelessness. Additional projects include a new landlord support program to increase rental opportunities for those with poor rental history or other barriers to secure stable housing. We also began the library expansion project, an exciting opportunity to bring our public library into the 21st century. In addition, the new community resource specialist who serves 744 individuals with housing and mental support. While looking at safe, functional, and accessible infrastructure, we have to recognize the reconstruction of State Street and the added roundabouts. I hope we can all agree that the results have met or exceeded our expectations along the State Street corridor. Traffic may flow a little slower, but it is continuous, and in the end, gets us to our destination sooner and in a safer environment. In 2019, our city engineering staff raised the bar on educating and engaging the community around outside-the-box, non-traditional thinking, encompassing the many complete street approaches to planning, designing, and operating roadways and right-of-ways with all users in mind to make the transportation network safer and more efficient. Thank you to our engineering staff for all their great work. Quality of life is innovation. Shifting our attention to winter again, record snowfall in 2019 forced us to reevaluate the parking policy in place at that time. The inability to provide clear and safe passage through our neighborhoods was a serious concern. In response, we reintroduced odd-even parking with the intention of creating a safer environment for our pedestrians, automobiles, snowplows, and emergency vehicles. In 2019, the work in public engagement continued with the new transit center. The 7-story, $23 million project will include parking, workforce rent housing, and commercial space. In addition, our transit division secured funding for 8 new bus shelters and 25 bus stop improvements over the next 5 years. In 2019, we facilitated 107 lead water service replacements and approved plans to continue that valued service for many years to come. Thank you to Mr. Pippinger and the community services staff for all that you do. Other capital improvements throughout 2019 included the opening of the beautiful Haymarket Plaza and the completion of a $1.75 million upgrade to Hobbs Ice Center. An important aspect of having safe, accessible, and functional infrastructure is taking care of what we have. Last year, we exercised and tested 5,617 water valves. We also swept 14,000 miles of streets, collecting 11,000 cubic yards of material. Quality of life, it shows. We also continued our work to upgrade our streets and alleys. A long multi-year process, and over the past 24 years, the percentage of excellent streets went from 28% to 34%. But the real progress was reducing the number of fair and poor streets from 39% down to only 7% in 2019. We also maintained and repaired more than 32 miles of recreational trails in the city of Eau Claire. The only other city with more miles of recreation trails in this state is Madison. Quality of life, it improves health. In optimizing the city's organizational potential, 2019 brought about numerous personnel changes and challenges within the organization. Over the years, the city of Eau Claire has continually been successful in employee retention, but with record low unemployment, levy constraints handcuffing municipalities from offering competitive wages, and an approximate 50% turnover in the baby boomer-led municipal workforce, staffing has been and will continue to be a priority. Thank you to Ms. Selton and the HR staff for all their work. Several employees were recognized on the national and state levels. Dave Solberg and our engineering team were recognized for the design of the Carson Park Causeway by the American Public Works Association as the nation's best public works project of the year. Congratulations to Dave and his staff. Our Deputy City Attorney, Doug Hofer, was recognized as a leader in the law And there was internal recognition for the employees across many departments that stepped up to help remove the record amount of snow. Quality of life brings success. And of course, city staff still had fun. A strong, vibrant, and healthy city must have strong, vibrant, and healthy neighborhoods, places where people feel connected and safe. 2019 welcomed several new neighborhood associations and the city's first annual Neighborhood Summit that provided residents an opportunity to ask questions, express ideas, successes, and frustrations. A sense of unity, support, and confidence resulted from this event. Thank you to the residents, city staff, and to council members for your work. In between their busy roles protecting and serving the Eau Claire Police Department actively participated in 74 neighborhood association meetings last year. Thank you to retired Chief Ski and Chief Rokas and our entire law enforcement staff for their commitment to our neighborhoods and connecting our residents to law enforcement personnel. Quality of life builds trust. In addition, our City County Health Department worked alongside the City Attorney's Office, the Eau Claire Police Department, the University of Wisconsin Eau Claire students and administration, and other community stakeholders to pass and implement the excessive intoxication ordinance and explore policy and educational opportunities that will impact unsafe, excessive alcohol use. With this ordinance, a diversion program was developed to provide education and self-reflection with the hope of changing behavior and community culture here in Eau Claire. And last year, our police department developed a lethality assessment for domestic abuse victims to identify our higher risk victims and help connect 56 of those victims with advocacy and services in order to reduce future victimization. Our fire department implemented a fire safety and risk reduction program for our senior citizens by working collaboratively with our other governmental and nonprofit agencies. Thank you to our fire department for their work to respond during times of emergency. In 2019, our engaged community continued with the training and development of those chairing and serving on the 23 boards, commissions, and committees that help shape and serve this city. Our challenge now is the recruitment of Eau Claire residents to help serve in these roles. Presently, we have 21 vacant seats to be filled, and even more will be needed to replenish our resource bank when future vacancies arise. Please let me take 1 minute to challenge all of us here and all of those at home to encourage our friends and neighbors, co-workers, and employees to become engaged with our community, to serve the city on a board, a commission, or committee with the understanding that your voice and your work is heard and it is acted upon. There's no better opportunity to give back to your community and to make a difference. To continue the support community engagement, the City Council approved Wisconsin's first formal participatory budgeting process, and work on that begins soon. In addition, the State Street project showed us community engagement in action. Not only did this project bring about an outpouring of public comment and input, but it also brought attention to the value of neighborhood associations and the impact of their role in this community by encouraging neighbors and community partners to listen and communicate more openly. Quality of life through sharing. Eau Claire has enjoyed an exceptional rate of volunteerism. Over 80% of the residents in the 2019 survey said that they volunteer in some capacity, with 1,265 individuals providing 5,500 hours of service. We also expanded our early voting by adding more days and evening hours for the community. Let's bring our attention to livable, lovable, and fun, our sixth strategic goal. In 2019, we became one of 3 Winter Vanguard cities to participate in Winter Mission, a collaborative effort to combat social isolation and increase levels of physical activity, working together with all of our community partners to make Eau Claire a great winter city. Our Recreation Division registered over 10,000 participants in 2019 and coordinated over 100 special events and welcomed 12,000 spectators at the Winter Parade. Quality of life is livable, lovable, and fun. When we look at 2019 and the opportunities for personal learning, we have to recognize the L.E. Phillips Memorial Library, Director Westby, and the entire library staff for being awarded the Wisconsin Libraries Association 2019 Library of the Year. What a wonderful honor for them and for this community. Other notable library achievements include a new outreach program encompassing youth services that visited 5 parks throughout the city with a variety of books and things to play with. In addition, the continuation of the Books on the Bus program and the Summer Library program, both of which continue to be popular and successful programs for our community. Quality of life for our children. Our quality of life does not happen without collaborations that have become the lifeblood of Eau Claire and allowing us to do together what we can't do alone. We have a long history of successful collaborations, and in 2019 welcomed a joint effort with Chippewa County to build a shared industrial park, the Eau Claire Police Department and Mayo Clinic, our EMS agreement with the surrounding towns and villages, and our work with Fierce Freedom, the University Internship Program, the Regional Computer Forensic Lab, Regional Task Force on Affordable Housing, Winter Mission, and more. Alongside those collaborations, the city continues to partner with our neighborhoods, organizations, and service groups with MOUs to enhance our parks and public spaces. Examples include the Chippewa Valley Pickleball Club, the Eau Claire Express Baseball, and the newly created Princeton Valley Park. Quality of life is working together. Yet with all this success and progress, there are challenges to our ability to improve the quality of life in Eau Claire. Levy limits tire tax revenue to net new construction, meaning that we need $110 million of new net taxable value to have a 2% increase in revenue. And that $110 million comes with new demands for services. This formula for growth is not sustainable and has created an environment where the city of Eau Claire has fewer employers today than we did in 1980. Yet by every measure, we are 30% larger. In addition, like most cities, we are challenged by access to safe, affordable housing for all people at all levels. Although as a percent of income we do well for home ownership, we also have the second highest county poverty rate in the state. Other challenges include attracting more employers to offer higher wages that want to capitalize on the quality of life that we've created, and addressing the growing inventory of vacant retail buildings in our community, and working with area leaders to hopefully find alternative uses for these buildings. So what do we have planned for 2020 and beyond? We are already off and running in 2020, and first and foremost will be the continuing effort to meet the needs of this community as we work towards attaining the goals and objectives of our strategic plan. Second, we need to fill the vacated city manager's position. Recently, we took steps to secure a consultant to help facilitate a national search. Our intention is to attract diverse, qualified, and experienced applicants that share the values and goals of this community. We are committed to including you, the residents of Eau Claire, city staff, and community partners in the search and selection of our next city manager. I am confident that it will be a smooth and positive transition. Obviously, we still have our foot on the gas pedal regarding the challenge of safe, healthy, and affordable housing in this community. We are committed to remaining active and engaged with our community partners to keep building, renovating, and revitalizing our housing stock. In 2020, we'll continue to work on our strategic plan by incorporating key performance indicators for each strategic objective. We also need to prioritize the work and implement software that will publicly and internally track our progress. We also need to keep our focus on the future development of a convention center, supporting the library expansion project, implementing participatory budgeting, breaking ground on the Transit Transfer Center, and the need for more industrial land, just to name a few of the things that we have on our calendar. And as many of you know, a letter of intent was signed to guide a partnership between the City of Eau Claire, the University, Visit Eau Claire, and the Eau Claire Community Complex for the expanded event center on Menominee Street. They hope to break ground later this summer. And as we look forward, you have heard throughout this presentation the constraints that levy limits put on this community and our quality of life. For 2020 and beyond, this will be our greatest challenge if we are to continue to meet the needs of this city in a manner that is representative of the values and services that we have come to expect. Soon as a community, we will need to have a discussion on how we find a sustainable solution to this challenge. In closing, I would like to thank our incredible city staff that continues to wow us with their creativity, dedication, and passion. Thank you again to my fellow council members, and of course, a sincere thanks to City Manager Peters, who will be greatly missed. And to the residents of Eau Claire, our biggest thanks. You helped make 2019 an amazing year, a year of listening and learning, growth and sustainability, empathy and celebration. You are a community that doesn't sit still, you take nothing for granted, and you leave no one behind. You should be proud of who you are and what you strive for the city to be. And I'm confident that 2020 will bring more triumphs and greater quality of life for this community. With new faces in our neighborhoods, new businesses and jobs, healthy and affordable housing for everyone, and continued respect for one another. Thank you.
This program was brought to you by a cooperation between Newsworks and the City of Eau Claire. A transcript of this meeting is available for the hearing impaired. It will be available within 7 days of this telecast. Call 715-839-4912 or TDD 715-839-1689. Or write Eau Claire City Clerk, P.O. Box 5148, Eau Claire, Wisconsin 54702-5148. Newsworks is made possible by continuing community support. If you would like to volunteer or make a donation, please contact us via phone at 715-839-4669